then he cannot attack easily. Right, I mean, I have Emperor. And we are starting to get the advantage, man. Ledger. Mine? Way better than theirs. Hello everyone, it's Sloth here, and today finally we have an Esper control, because I've been trying to make it work for a really long time, and I couldn't. I had like 33% win rate in some decks and I just scrapped them. But this one is much better. At least that's what the results show, and it feels much better as well. So we are having a full control deck with Invasion of Amonkhet and some, sure, that's the standard. The interesting part about this deck, it's a control, so we of course draw cards. You have Bankbuster, Celestus and the Invasion. So you have quite a lot of value, right? But at the same time, you can hit your opponent's hand, because this one can discard a card. Just a one card, right? But with Liliana, that can also discard a card, you can put actually way more pressure on your opponent's hand than usually. Liliana discards, of course, your cards as well, but we have a lot of situational ones. We have Smite and Parasitic Grasp, and we also have quite a lot of counter spells, in different cases. So depending on which matchup you hit, you can just discard the wrong cards for the matchup, so it doesn't hurt you at all, and it lets you play them, so you get good answers in the correct matchup. And at the same time, it hurts your opponent even more because of Invasion of Amonkhet. Remember, the last card you discard is the real one. That's the card you really want to discard. And when he's in full top deck mode, suddenly game changes. So you need time, and with Earth-Eye Resurrected, not only you get insane tempo, you can get a creature, so you can potentially crack the battle and get the creature, but also as a drawback for this perfect, amazing, favorite by everyone card. Your opponent draws a card, or the target's controller, and usually that's not great. But with this card deck, if he is in full top deck mode, if you have Liliana or Invasion, you negate fully his only benefit for this card, and suddenly he's empty-handed again before he can play the card, unless it's an instant specifically. The battles. We don't really go for the backside version unless it's convenient. We play this card mostly for the card advantage for 3 mana and the discard draw synergy, but you can of course crack it. You have the Emperor, you have Shrouded, you have Earth-Eye, you have Bankbusters. All of those cards can absolutely crack the battle. So this is the deck. I'm really happy. Like with the results we went, you will see on the screen. It was pretty good. We had a winning streak, then losing streak, and now we are on the winning streak again. So I don't know, it seems fine so far, and we ranked up. Let's go into the games because they're pretty fun. I hope you like them, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Tell me what you think, and if you like the deck. I like Esper. I've tried to make it work, but I always ended with Azorius in the end. That's why you had so many Azorius decks. They were supposed to be Esper, at least part of them. And I think this version gives a good reason to play black in the deck, and it's really fun as well. So enjoy, have fun, and let's get some fun in Magic. On the draw. Counter spell, 6-drop and double 4-drop. Phew, I mean, it's better, right? I mean, that's an early game interaction, so we'll take it. On the draw, you absolutely need it. Let's make sure that we don't need to pain ourselves in any way. All those black mana cost life, and who knows, maybe we'll be so pressured that we need to pay it for like next 3 turns. Ledger Shudder, alright, some pretty risky plays, right? Let's not show that we are Esper yet. They played it without protection. I would guess they have second one. Like, this is pretty high Mythic, so I think they know what they are doing. Exactly. See? And this one is protected, and this one we cannot kill. However, we can kill it on the next turn, or if he taps out. The problem is that I think he will play it smart, and now he will leave more than 1 mana, because he realizes that we always ramp our, threats, and he needs to basically match it in defense. But his defenses cost 1 and our attacks cost 2, so that's where he gets a lot of advantage in tempo. But let's see, maybe he taps out. Like, having 3 lands definitely does not help. Like, we hit 6 lands in 9 cards, so that's not where you wanna be. Are you a human? Like, when you look really hard, he could be a human, alright? I'm just saying. Let's go for this one, so we have all the combinations activated. So the Grasp, I I mean, Grasp is interesting. One of the good sides for this situation, there's no pressure, so we can ignore it, and he kinda needs to do something at some point, right? Alright, this might be the moment. I hope he doesn't have like end step plays. They usually play main. Like if he keeps attacking me for one, bro, I have so much time. But he's playing it really smart. He's going full defense, but I'm trying to show him that it's not a good strategy and he needs to switch it, because it's actually a pretty good strategy if he can make double play at some point. Bankbuster. We are not protecting it. Like, it's just half bait, half I'll take the card, you know? This type of stuff. And if they cast something and we have to respond, that would be a double spell. Alright, they didn't go for it, or they couldn't go for it. It seems that nothing is happening, but honestly it's so much pressure. It seems really intense. Like, this is the turn when I might get attacked. I think we go with Make Disappear. They will cast another spell and... Alright, that's interesting. So, maybe in response we go for the Throat. Then they protect for 1 mana and they fight without the other Ledger Shadow in the board, right? I don't super like it. I need this 1 mana man that I tapped because I want Parasitic Grasp first, because it hits 3 toughness. If we play the Make Disappear and he taps out, we don't get the full value. Well, we get the full value. Actually, we get the full value because this kills 1 and this kills 2nd, and we also draw a card. That's actually good play, I think. I really like this kind of situations, like you actually could go different directions and this decision will make or break the game probably at some point. And our opponent, while usually this type of deck just, you know, plays whatever they have, Mr. Jim actually knows what he's doing. Whenever a player casts their 2nd spell each turn, I think this is the play. We kill this one, he connives, but this is a destroy effect, so all he gets is 1 cycle. That's it. And he will be down 3 ledgers already, so he only has 1 in the deck. They still have other creatures, so honestly there is a really high chance we are losing this. Like, look at the cards. Before we draw those Bankbusters, we'll be dead. Probably something like Virtuoso will come into the board. But we are at least fighting, and he didn't get any triggers on this one, because when we fought for, you know, the whole battle, this wasn't around. And it means that it dies to Parasitic Grasp. He cannot counter, so we are going for this one now. We get a draw, we get a battle, we get a Danik that we didn't want in the graveyard probably. But still, it's a 4 mana card, so if they won't have additional mana, it's not the worst. And they have to discard, but thinking so long makes me think that they have really good hand, man. And I'm not sure if we can beat really good hand. Yep, high quality. Farewell. You can use it, but it's really hard to use it in this kind of matchup. Like, you basically play 6 mana for effect they counter for 1 mana. And they got land, so it means protecting Danik, which is a little bit scary. We could go for Liliana Man and try to burn their hand. But if they discard a no, we have to kill Danik first. They will protect it, but hopefully it's a hexproof and not phase out. He will have phase out, but we don't really have a choice. We need to start, you know, doing stuff. If we keep just forcing him to discard, see, he just can discard the creature stuff and start drawing cards, and we don't really get much value here. This has to be a Bankbuster though. I could maybe draw and hit Spell Pierce, but the chance for this is like 1 in 42 cards, so I don't think it's the play. We slow him down a little bit. I think those were decent plays. I'm not sure if it couldn't be played a bit better on my side. But like placing Liliana, she would be at 4 loyalty, so it's... You have 4 Ledger Shredders in top 19 cards? Really? Oh my god, that's so annoying. This is their main key card for the whole deck. After you burn 3, you really don't need to expect the next one, but apparently you do. Alright, how do we play it? I think Bankbuster is the answer. What we have to do is start activating those and just burning through the cards before they can pressure us. This way we can get lands, get removals, farewells, and at some point maybe they tap out and we farewell. You know, this kind of stuff. And also Bankbusters threaten that we get this, so we could get our own Ledger Shredder. We also have quite a lot of removal overall. The point is this one is not scary and they don't really want to waste 2 cards just for 1 connive. Let's start with the one with less counters so it can get the pilot. Wow, this is literally a dead card. It doesn't hit a single thing in their whole deck. I mean, not a single card. Those were pretty abysmal draws, man. However, we have double Bankbuster and this is what saves us. This is why we play 4 of them, alright, in every deck. They are pretty good. And this is why I like the battle. See, normally you hit them for 4 in the face and they are like, bro, what are you even doing? Like, we don't care. But here, we can get the Shredder and suddenly they are forced to start defending. This is what I really enjoy about the battles. They create punishment for tanking hits, basically. And suddenly, they would never care about their life total. They can absolutely ignore you and never play defense game in their life. Against this, 4 life means extra really impactful creature. And suddenly they have to a player that wants to kill the other player needs to defend. And this is what I really enjoy about the battles. It changes how the games are played a little bit. And you know, punishing your opponent for losing 4 life so hard means that there's way more pressure on defending than normally. And suddenly you can, you know, get those interesting plays as a control deck because you generally don't lethal them, right, with the Bankbusters, unless you have full control. But sometimes you can sneak this extra damage and it changes the situation fully. See? They would never make this play normally. Alright, not a spell. Alright. We did not play a spell this turn, right? We just activated stuff. This is not what they like. They want to start conniving, they want to start chaining stuff. If we can get their hand to very low level, I know I said that they can get the creature, but maybe they don't have it, alright? I hope they don't have it. Otherwise we are not gaining anything really. But I expect those 3 to be like spells that protect those creatures, and he's waiting for us to start attacking them, and then he just connives. See? The first one. We cannot spell again this turn, or we give him the connive. And as you can see, 1/3 Ledger Shredder is much less scary than 2/4. 5 damage to the face. Listen. What would you say if you play like this? He can connive, but we are not casting more than 1 spell. I will? He wants to double spell, that's why he's playing like this. But it costs him a lot of cards, and remember, with this he doesn't get card advantage, it's just card quality, so he will be left with 1 card, even if it's really high quality, like counter spell, or you know, anything else. It's still 1 card. Alright, he had a land, he has a random card right now. We know the card in his hand is better than the land, so it doesn't really tell us too much. Sometimes you can hit, you know, relevant stuff. And this is the play, man. I hope he does something, because I wanted to farewell, honestly. Oh boy. It's awkward, but we can get our Ledger Shredder so then he cannot attack easily. Right, I mean, I have Emperor. And we are starting to get the advantage, man. Ledger. Mine? Way better than theirs. But it's not the first time, right? So, we are going for 4. Bankbuster. Really? What was the other? Oh, this is a casting trigger. Alright. I specifically tried to play around this. Oh, that's my bad. See? Moment you fizzle, everything just instantly falls apart. Oh, I also get this. So let's get rid of the stroke, just to make sure nothing is hit by it. Alright, cool. We played a land? I think we did, but I'm not extremely sure. Maybe we didn't? No, this one. Alright. We have a 5/5 Ledger Shredder though. That's no joke. We are not the one that needs to kill the other guy. Oh, this misplay. Like, of course, that was a huge misplay on my part. I forgot this counts as a spell. It just feels like, you know, it transforms and it's cool, but you actually cast the backside. I still think we didn't throw the game, but we really make a big blunder for no reason. Other than being, you know, a dummy. And Jim is playing really great game so far. Man, this is... Even though I don't love this kind of decks, I like this is what Magic is about. Just trying to make those cool plays. I probably should have played the Emperor first, right? But I have 2 of them, so it's fine. I will play the Emperor. They have some counter spells, some are mana based, so this is a bit wasteful, but this is 2 random cards, man, basically. There's really high chance they won't be good.
Anyone who harms my people must contend with me.
So of course it would be a bit better to -2 something, but we take what we can, and we have really high value in the Syncopate is amazing. Because, man, it's so good, because we are actually winning on the board. Which means that he needs to cast something into our Syncopate. We also get card advantage every turn, that he doesn't. Like, man, he's not in a good spot right now. And we will get another Ledger Shredder very quickly. I could also put counter here and double Bankbuster, but I'm not extremely into, you know, just killing stuff. I want to have full Syncopate open and possibly draw cards. We get the same deal on the Shredder, but his deck is more built around it, so that's why I don't want to connive. No, bro. Look here. I can help you. This will be the one. Because my Ledger Shredders are absolutely like steroid version of yours. So we absolutely take it. Alright. No spells has been cast. This is the first one. And we are learning the new cards, how they exactly work. Alright, some counter spell action maybe. And don't forget, when they have 0 cards and they connive, yeah, they get the counter, but there's no card advantage or quality there. Oh, that's a smarty. So he has 5 mana, we can counter it. He gets the connive trigger. And I think it's worth it, so 3, 6, we go for 6. This way he doesn't get the counter, we get stuff, and everything is just going into our way. The only problem is that the other Ledger Shredder won't be conniving, because like we fight before it's on the battlefield. Oh boy, those Danix, man, gave him so much value, but I still think our Shredders are better. We probably want to cast something, but Farewell is really good, man. I will discard the land. We don't get the counter, he got the counter, so like we can do it 0 times more if we want to kill it, and if we want to block we can do it once.
So yeah, that's something. He's drawing cards, so he's trying to fish for counter spells. So it means that our Lazotep something convert will probably trigger and be casted, and will become a permanent. Alright, man, I like the Ledger Shredder games in a way. We could go Danik. Ooh. I don't need double Ledger, right? Shredder. Let's go risky. I like the lifelink, man. Especially with the Emperor. And now we go full defense, because if he doesn't kill us on this turn, which theoretically could be possible, will he kill us? I hope not. I hope not. But then we can recover with the lifelink very quickly. And we can be defense. I think this is the turn for him to kill us. And my mouse is absolutely out of battery. Alright, here we go. Alright, what did he do? Oh no. I told you. But he needs to solve our Ledger Shredder, right? Oh. Oh, that's the card we want. I think one farewell needs to happen. Right, we can kill Danik right now. Are you human? You are a spirit soldier. No, not a spirit soldier. Because I need double black. I have double white. I tapped wrong. I'm sure I could tap better for this one. Okay, but it's 8 damage and we still have a blocker. They need to connive and use... They probably have March, man. Oh boy, they will march me. Virtuoso is not the worst. One card. I feel... Okay, okay. The hope is coming back. And he cannot really attack... Oh my god, it worked. You know what? I'm just drawing my cards, man. Decent card. Oh boy, very nice. Alright, let's keep placing this cool Danik that you've got there.
Remember your training.
What do we crew? We crew this one. And on the next one we will attack for even more. This and this. Before we stabilize, we keep the Ledger Shredder. Like, it kinda saved us so far. But like, imagine if we didn't have this card. Like, the whole game would be so much different. Like, our two best cards are the Lazotep converts from the before. Like, otherwise we would have Pilot, Bankbuster, and the Samurai. Alright. They know something is fishy. I kinda like the Virtuoso dying. So let's go to the first strike. Alright. Oh boy, he will freaking connive. Spirit. Die. So I don't want him conniving any more creatures. So this is the first spell. This will be 7, but it will get hit for 4. And this is 3. We could also Emperor, but we missed the first strike, so... I mean, was that good? I think, yeah. We want to kill both of them. And he has only one card, man. That is a high chance of him not having... If we target Virtuoso, we don't have enough. Enjoy! So, I expect a counter, but he needs a protection spell right now. Otherwise, he loses his best creature, and we basically sweep the board. Manually. This is a soldier. He can actually use the land to pump it. Sorcery. Only one card in the hand. What is the card? I think we are doing it. Alright, Raffin Tower. So we miss second counter here, but I think 6/6 is good enough. Alright, man, this turned out to be a really cool game. Perfect. I think we played it decently. And we say go. Empty board. No creatures. One Danik. But casting this is such an expense. He only has 3 mana for the next turn, and we have Bankbusters. We can attack with everything and just completely hopefully obliterate him. 4 mana and 2, so we will answer with this one. We might draw a counter spell or something. Pretty decent card. So he can go with this one. I think he will explode on the next turn. I don't think he can come back from this. And we are conniving, because why not? We are the connive deck. And my connives are never counters because I'm drawing so many lands. But we still want... Man, those 2 best creatures we had were Lazotep converts, and this got us back into the numbers maybe. Man, I'm so proud of this game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Alright, going... What? Going first? Crazy. So, pretty good land base. Make disappear on the play and invasion. Much better than in the other situations. Alright, this is important turn. So, do we want to get a counter spell on this turn on the Tenacious Underdog? Probably not. I think we can try to skip it, because at some point we have to exile the board. Like, they will keep building stuff and we'll start losing life and, you know the stuff. We've done it already. On this turn we probably make disappear. On the next one we might Parasitic Grasp into draw and start from there. Good choice. Test us for dumminess. Because you don't want to answer anything, because the next thing that will happen is worse. Yep. Counter spell lands. What do? Do you play your Trespasser into an obvious make disappear? And by the way, it's absolutely not obvious. Alright, I mean, I'll take it. That really suggests to me that maybe I should Sunfall. We probably need to cast it while they are tapped. Otherwise they kill their underdogs and we still have the issue, you know? Alright, we have correct mana. This will be tricky. Like, they can pressure us very, very well, but we have the answers. Whew, that's an attack I don't want to take. Problem is if they have the open mana. I think I have to take this hit, man. It might be a mistake, but I'm kinda gambling that he will tap his mana, because if he plays something like Shrouded, I don't like it. Oh boy, that's a super weird play, I know. We deny him the card, and then we Sunfall, making sure that underdogs will die and I still draw a card. I think it's okay. Not exactly my perfect, dream play, but I think it's pretty decent. This way, we guarantee that we have a good start. Triple lands, in the end, definitely not perfect. Especially if they shorted right now. I think I can take the Invoke Despair. Well, it hurts as well, so shorted and Invoke is really good stuff from their side. Honestly, Flesh Gorger? It hurts, but let's be honest, what does it hurt right at this point? And I can kill this. I don't get too much stuff. We keep playing untapped lands because we need a lot of tempo right now. We are under siege and we need to survive. We cannot play this. It's not for the turn. We can go Parasitic Grasp, and I think this is what we are doing. A bit painful, in all honesty. Oh, I don't like it. But this way we deny the Bankbuster. I mean, we can either activate those 2 creatures, because we will have 4 mana total, 3 here and 1 from the treasure. Or we can syncopate this, because this is exactly why we play. Like, is there a sense? No, there is no sense. Just counter those invokes, man. That would absolutely destroy us, man. Alright, some quality tap land. I could play this, but, well, if I play this, I cannot attack yet. I think it's shorted material, because if he goes for another invoke, he actually really hurts himself. And I can create creatures at instant speed. Alright, I mean, sure. I could draw a card in response, but maybe I need a blocker. We'll see what he plays, right? He's down to 1 card. He's down to 2 cards. But he's going for the... Oh, he didn't hit. Now we go with Bankbuster. It's a card, it's a board presence, and he needs to respond maybe. Alright. Cut down is a bit optimal, but we'll take it because it also hits this one. And oh my god, this is the play. I would really love... So we could get some life gain if we play like this, but this is the correct play. Because if that's a 2 mana removal, I go for the throat. Are you go for the throat? Told you. I felt it. It's go for the throat material. And now, we have shorted. Now, oh, I like this creature. I attack here, I get my stuff. So, you know, even though it's not extremely slow to flip, at some point during the game you might flip it. And things like this happen, that you have a crazy lifelinker with ward that guarantees that you win on the next turn. And now you're in full top deck mode, bro. Against 2 creatures, and we can still use this to crew the Bankbuster and sacrifice it, or just get the incubation. Explosion. Explosion. No explosion. Oh man. Like, I'm trying to make a show, bro. Like, you need to participate. Like, you should explode at this moment. There's no point. Like, you are fighting the inevitable. I mean, we have 2 lands in the hand, so maybe I shouldn't speak. And he is the Bankbuster in mono black with Invoke Disperse. But honestly, this Phyrexian Flash Gorger is extremely good. Absolutely ridiculously good. 12 damage to the face, is this good? I think we go like this. And go into the night time probably, see the card, and then decide, yep, I like it. Your creatures are pretty cool, and I will take them. Anyway, so we could play Mirex, create a token, and then use this and the new token to crew the Bankbuster. But we can do it on the next turn as well. And maybe we draw something. Yeah. But the draw is actually life gaining us a lot, man, here. So let's keep the cards. And let's just attack, I guess. This. He wants to block. He probably wants to deny the highest damage. Like, we want to go for 2 turn far. Yeah, so he wants to start blitzing, right? Because he's down in cards, but that will cost him a lot of mana, and he's getting killed or shorted very quickly with this. I don't think we need Mirex, man. I think we just want to cycle the cards and make sure that we draw something. Like, we probably already won, but of course, from the top, an easy shorted to counter ours. That's one of the perfect ways to try to come back into the game. Now he probably needs removal for our shorted into Invoke, but I still don't think, man, like, he has any chance here. Sure. Right, so we can kill this and attack with the Flash Gorger. And kill Shorted. And that should be it. So, we are playing Mirex. We are cycling. Because I want to see my card. I would probably get better value later, but I want to see the card. And that is a card. Alright. Are you a human? How is this not human? I absolutely protest. That's not fair. So if he wants to block this one, he needs to go for 2 creatures. I don't think he has removal. We can give the first strike, so if he double blocks the Gorger, we actually don't mind it. So he wants to trade Shorted, which is smart. But then he loses the... Man, this is the reason we have the advantage. And I mean, what would you say if there was a Wild Emperor? The priority comes from crewing, so I don't think he could go for the throat. Like, he hit Shorted, and I don't think he has all the perfect cards. Yep, and he indeed did not have. Man, the flipped battle just absolutely helped us close this game. Alright, opponent goes first. This is a pretty quality garbage can. On the draw, man. This is extremely risky, so we might very quickly lose. I think it might be something slower. I have the impression it might not be Mono Red on the opening. See? And we'll go from there. The invasion is nice. Airtie will be very important probably. But we will see how it goes. First counter spell check. Like, even if they counter, it's just, you know, they cannot do other stuff. And negate is probably the best we can go. Right? Yeah, like, this counters something every single game. Like, you cannot go around it. So, to burn it on the Bankbuster on turn 2, it's pretty decent. Pretty decent. Oh, I would love to hit this. But let's see. If we get another counter spell, then so be it. Generally, when they hardcast negate, something like negate, it means they had no mana-based counter spells, so unless they drew one, yeah, we kinda help them with a mill a little bit. If we could mill the Jin, that would be a bit better, but the card advantage we are getting is no joke. So let's see, and they... oh, I think it means they have to... I would not counter it, and maybe they expect control, you know, matchups, so they fear counter spells. This is hard to play, but I'm still pretty sure they have at least one in the hand. Like, you don't discard this, you know, powerhouse of value. It seems that they have a lot of value right now. Alright. So, I mean, we unlocked quite a lot of plays on this turn. Airtie is also a pretty good one. Still, we don't get as much stuff. So he wants to cast something at the end step, but then he stepped out, and if we have something at instant speed, he suddenly can be in a lot of trouble, because like they base their game plan on countering everything, right? He has one Fading Hope already in the graveyard, so he has 3 Fading Hopes in the rest of the deck. And they oh boy. I wanted to go for the Emperor, but I actually really want to counter it. So they get 1 card instead of 3. Don't forget, like, they have selection normally, and in this case they just get the random top card. Also, now they have to answer the Airtie, which is another thing I enjoy. I attack an invasion of Amonkhet. Is there reaction from your side, my friend? That's why we play it like this. It's just a bit irritating. I mean, sure, I can counter something else then. Oh boy, that's not exactly the card you really want to counter. If they go for the card draw at the end step, we play Airtie again, and they don't get the draw. Like, of course they get this 1 card, but they want way more than one. I said something weird, but I meant 1. So, I still expect flow of knowledge, possible on the next turn. They might have another first, and they think, like, they know we can counter it, and they might be planning their next turn. So if we counter, we are tapped out, and they have 1 turn of some cool plays. So this could be the case, or they want to force the counter spell, so on the next turn then they can flow of knowledge. I think this is what is going on. I'm not sure, we will see. We probably burn it on some low quality counter spell, but it is what it is. We need to keep pressure and playing lands every turn. Bro, like, I know there's some opinions on mono blue players, and Sadmark definitely enhancing this stereotype. Oh boy, I think he has a lot of plays, so honestly he probably has decisions to make. But not sure if they're so complicated. We will see. So this will get countered early for sure, and we don't really get out of, you know. Alright, so they were waiting at the end step, they want us to tap out, so now the situation reversed, right? But they still need to counterspell if they want to get the value, and hard counterspell, so none of this is mana based counterspell. That's good to know. And now we play the Wandering Emperor. because it's extremely hard for them to deal with.
Let your blade.
They already used double Fading Hopes, and the chance to draw the next one gets lower and lower, and moment they play Jhin, we have some nasty surprises. They can answer all of them. They will have 3 mana for Jhin, and potentially 3 mana to counter spells, but will make it harder, you know? And I can pressure the invasion, so they kinda have to answer. Do we have any creature? Like, we don't have creatures usually, and we didn't burn anything so far. So here we are, in the scenario we knew that will happen. They don't know about Go... Oh, that's a quality draw. I'm doing this. I could start +1, and this way I kinda force Jhin to attack the Emperor.
Keep watch for intruders.
This land is extremely important. This is our 3rd play for the turn. I could go for Sunfall because he will counter it, and maybe then on the next turn we'll make the big play. Because they cannot kill us in 1 turn, I believe. This is a decent card, you know? Like, I should do it before using the token thing, but I'm so sure he won't allow it that I don't consider it ever like clearing the board, man. Alright, some intensity. Like, we got a 3/3 token, so we don't really mind. Like, we use only 1 value by making this one. This means the sweeper will go through. Alright, I could counter it. But if he has another counter, that's not great. And if we remove the Jhin, Spell Pierce will be amazing. Man, Spell Pierce is so insane in the current meta. Like, it doesn't hit creatures, right? Of course. But, man, this 1 mana hard counter spell in many situations is insane. Alright, Terror. This will be a battle. And it will be legendary. Okay, I think we play like this. We still have Airtie into Spell Pierce mana. I think we can absolutely navigate this to a win if we are smart about it. Is this Fading Hope? For some reason it smells like Fading Hope, but I don't think he should have it right now. Like, he should be digging like next 10 cards for the third Fading Hope. Because Fading Hope is the key card for the matchup. This is basically their only removal in the whole deck. Ooh, we could Airtie this, but is this a good move, honestly? Probably not. I think this is the correct play. Because we can pay the mana for the ward. He knew about the Airtie, but he didn't know about this, the removal. And I mean, let's plus, because Emperor is really important. This is our board presence, so let's not kill it ourselves, right? Especially -1 into plus is like a big deal, man. Especially with so much interaction. And they know about it. Moment we flip this and we get some cool stuff, he might be in some trouble. Spell Pierce would really encourage us to get the Terror. Jhin is a bit better on the tempo, but bro, you are not answering this one. Truly, there's no answer in your deck to this one. You can just say, alright, I will accept a token from the Wandering Emperor. Because it wanders, and it's an Emperor. The quality of the commentary matches the quality of the quickness of this gameplay. Bro, they really play slow, I have to say. This deck, definitely with 3 cards, there are no many decisions. Like, not so many, and the only way you can answer this, yeah, like, crazy. That took me at least 1 month of deliberation. Alright. Unless it's control Paris. I mean, I'm not paying, bro. We counter this one, so he doesn't get anything. He gets the card though, so that's important. But it's just 1 card. And we have pretty good board presence, and we have removal on top of this. So those are 2 random cards and 1 from before. This one is high quality, this one is pretty random, it can be lands even. So you know, so much thinking, but the end is usually the same. Second tapland means we cannot even activate the Bankbuster. Against any normal deck, that would be a high value great hand, but we are in... You don't play more than 4 turns meta, so really hard. I will keep it, just because we can keep drawing with Bankbuster. We can also draw lands naturally. Like, we have a lot of upsides, and theoretically it could be non-aggro. Like, imagine that. But... oh my god, are you not aggro? Is this my birthday? It's not, but it seems like it. Alright, we will play some cool games then. Oh man, I'm actually so excited to play a game of Magic. Alright, so we have Bankbusters. The strategy is that we try to stall the game as long as possible, because he cannot beat double Bankbuster. That's the draft version of, you know, WinCon for this game. And we will need to defend against Fable? No? Oh, that's a good one, that's a good one. Still, by the way, he should... Okay, no, there's no cards. Because you can crew this before the sacrifice, but you need some cards in the graveyard, and it's 0-0 right now. Alright, interesting one. So we can go with the Emperor to provide some pressure, or go Bankbuster and start doing some cards. I like the pressure version, you know? It's also maybe not more mana efficient, but you get bigger effect, because here you pay basically 4 mana for draw a card. That's it. Here you actually get a 4 mana of value, so that's the biggest reason I went for it. Alright. And now we have initiative, so he needs to answer, and it might be much harder for him to find this 2 mana, or actually 3 mana for next Bankbuster. Let's see. Oh, she leaves, and we even have a counter. Alright, that's nearly game over, man. We are getting really high value right now. So he's behind on answering our threats by 1 turn. I guess maybe he will cast something at the end step, right? That kinda must be it. We could play Liliana and make it even more awkward, but I want the counter spell. I wouldn't be surprised if he answers with some removal. We probably won't draw the card on this turn, but let's see. Alright, only I have Emperor. No, nah. Honestly, I think he should play... Well, not really, because then we could attack, right? It's really, like, against Emperor decks is extremely hard to come back from casting Emperor second. Because the first player always gets the better piece of cake, you know? You can attack, the other Emperor needs to burn loyalty just to defend and sacrifice samurais every turn. So, it's a bit rough for our opponent, not gonna lie. And I think we were first, right? So this is all based by us playing first Emperor, being first, so we got a huge advantage there. Which might be honestly game winning, so very possibly we won just by being on the play. I think we were, right? We missed land drop, so that's why we are behind, but I think we're first to achieve 4. Alright. And let's see the play. Is that another Emperor? Very possibly. And I think I will still counter it if that's the second Emperor. Alright, that's an interesting one, but not the Qatar Commando. So this must be some Invoke deck, right? Alright, for this moment I will actually allow it, because he's losing on board super hard, so he won't have time to draw with Bankbuster. And I know he's drawing with the Bankbuster, but you get the idea, like he needs to go with some kind of spells, and we even get to draw with our own Bankbuster, so he's not even getting ahead. Man, we need the land. Man, we need the land. Alright. So be it. I will actually go for this one, because I want 2-turn lethal. I could also go with the Bankbuster, which is really aggressive. Just for 1 extra damage, I don't think it's worth it. Maybe next turn. Don't forget we can play Shorted, which means that we can crew the Bankbuster. But like he knows that he's dying on the next turn, right? So this will be the big turn when he actually starts making some kind of, you know, big moves. He needs big spells right now.
So as you can see, when we are against like normal decks, we have so much value, even without drawing, you know, the invasions. Huh. That's an interesting one. Do we protect our board? He might have another one. Or the Emperor. But you know what? No, we cannot counter because it's in Syncopate. Alright. So be it. That's a good play for him. Maybe we can start fighting for value now. I just need those lands, man. Look, we are 4 to 7. He's doubling our mana, and this is the reason we couldn't Syncopate. If we're even... Oh, you sneaky. What a monster. Man, if people start playing Field of Ruins, I will actually need to include some basics into my deck. That's horrible. And they usually try so far. I had the demolishing field or whatever it's called also used on me. Yep, a bit awkward, a little bit awkward. I mean, we got stone rained mostly, but getting so hard mana screw. Like we're slowly drawing more shortest than lands. Alright. If he destroyed 2, I could play it untapped at least. So what is the play? Because this is interesting situation. We are behind, and that was our second black mana, which we really needed. I think we actually have to go like this and get the guard down, basically. This way we can... Man, we really do not like hitting lands in this game. Man, it's 17 cards, we only draw 5, right? That's not a lot. That's really not a lot. And we even have to discard. I think it will be Sunfall, right? Because he has other stuff. So, in the end, I guess he will have time to, you know, draw with Bankbuster. I stand corrected. And don't forget, this is huge. How many cards does it have? 5. Oh yeah. The fun part with the Hears is that it always targets one graveyard. So if you have one card, in one of the graveyards, like you miss 50% of the effect, and then your stats are much worse, right? And we cannot hit the artifacts. That's important. With the only removal we have. He has what? 5 mana. Maybe they probably play some 5 mana spells, like big ones. Yep, crewing. We cannot do anything around this. And Emperor, right? That's way better value. And that is the first big question. So, we kill the Trespasser at the end step. That's probably the play. They activate the Bankbuster on their end step, or when we cast Liliana, so we probably need to go for Shorted. I think it's good to protect the Emperor. But Sloth, this has no sense. It doesn't, but it lets my opponent make a mistake, possibly thinking that it's a good play. Because I want him to use all the removal on this moment he has the chance. Because I really want to play Shorted. If we draw correctly... Man, this is also our only black mana for the next turn. Alright, I think I need this treasure super hard. Oh boy, like look at our hand, like we still cannot draw a single land, man. The whole game starts to bottleneck to just not being able to draw lands. I think it has to be sure that this is the most impactful play we can make. And I guess it has to be the Trespasser. 1 Liliana. Especially if they play Go for the Throat, they could not get the Bankbuster, right? So that could be one of the reasons why Bankbuster wasn't killed. Oh my god, they also play white. Oh boy. Let's think about it, because tapping Shore that can be devastating if they have the Emperor. And they already shown that they play it, so we shouldn't tap it in the end. The 4 damage would be extremely tempting, but I just don't think this is the way. And he didn't kill Shorted immediately, so that gives us some hope that he doesn't have targeted removal. He's playing like creature hate deck, but you know, sometimes you just don't have everything. But he made this game way closer than I expected. This Path of Perilman and our Mana Screw, like those two things were really combining themselves to this hard situation. Like we cannot even play our 2 black red, you know, double black is way too much for our 18 cards. I know he killed one of the lands, but you know, we play others as well. And the risk go for the throat indeed. So, now no harm in activating it, as we know it's dead. It would be cool to use Syncopate, but you know, we need mana for it. Man, he doubles our mana even more because he has the treasure, right? So, more than double the mana, that's really rough. Still no lands, because why would you ever hit a land in your deck? Man, games today were like so shuffler based, it's crazy. Like I think I lost like last game entirely up to shuffler, like completely. But you know, we'll see. It's randomness, right? We'll try to make it work. Okay, I was too slow. Because if this is a 6-6, I actually considered killing the pilot. That's a weird decision. Why would you not activate the bigger threat? Maybe he values it so hard? Not sure. So I think the game is absolutely not over, but like it's just a question of shuffler. When will I be able to play my cards? Mr. Guts and Shuffler. Am I allowed to play it on the next turn? Of course it was great play for him to remove the black source, but you know, see, we play other black sources in our black sources deck. So let's go with the shortest probably. Or we can just go Liliana. Liliana isn't amazing, right? She kills 1 card and absorbs some damage. It's not good enough. Let's go with the shorted and see if he has another removal. I'm not sure. I got a feeling that maybe, just maybe, if they have Emperor, they can cast it immediately. Wouldn't they cast Emperor already? Nah, I think they might be holding it. Let's see. If the Here's is his main play, I have a hope that he doesn't have targeted remove. Like, it felt dicey last time, right? He didn't kill Shorted at the end step, which would seem like an optimal play. I think I was tapped, so he knew there's no counter spell. Yeah, and I have a suspicion that he might top deck this card after we played Shorted, but I'm not entirely sure. But this is why I'm choosing this line of play. I have a feeling that there was something fishy there. And maybe we can, you know, get some advantage out of this. Oh, that was normally a great decision, but probably not in this situation. Because we can play... Oh, he knows about Liliana, so he will just sacrifice the Banebuster then. Oh my god, lands. See? Suddenly, when you have lands, you actually can play the game of Magic. I cannot attack with this one, but you know what? I could do the different thing. But he just screws the Here's, right? And then gets a free block, so I don't really force anything unless he just makes a mistake. Maybe you just hold up the Syncopate and try to defend. He doesn't have a lot of cardos. And let's not give the target. Alright, he has 2 cards to find a removal. It also needs to be pretty cheap because we can force him to pay 5, which... I mean, he still can pay 5 drop on top of paying it, or actually 6 drop because of the treasure. Yep. But he's not going for the biggest cards. He can target his own graveyard. That's something that is surprising. He can just make it a 9-9, right? And he wasted a lot of counters. It could be like 12-12, I think, and just, you know, keep attacking us. That, like, Hears can be insane creature. Especially when you know that your opponent probably doesn't have instant speed removal. Like, we play Go for the Throats and he sees 3 out of 4 cards in our hand, right? So the chance we can kill Hears is extremely small. But I think this could be the winning line of play if he went for it. Just pump as much as possible and then start crewing and attacking the face. Right now he cannot draw any cards more. He cannot even activate the Sanctuary Warden. Now he realized it, but I think this is one turn too late. Also, he didn't buff it enough, so it's not as threatening as it could be. And like removing one Go for the Throat doesn't change any kind of stuff in the game, you know? So I think that could be the better line of playing, but it's hard to know. Not sure what the cards are. But if he's thinking so long, it means he doesn't have Go for the Throat, because that would be an obvious choice, right? And he knows about Syncopate and all the mana we stacked, so it doesn't hurt him too much, but it makes it harder to double play. We are not tapping. I think he's hoping for a mistake right now. Because nothing will change. Before the next turn. So if he doesn't have removal, he won't have it when we end the turn. See? He wanted us to tap Shrouded, because then he would have extra removal and that would be enough. So he will exile his own Warden, I think, right? Oh, that's nice. So he has one more turn then, but he needs to kill his board. So I will take it. Do you want to go to the next turn? He's playing very well. I'll admit it. That's some high quality gameplay so far. Alright, Shrouded, the Apocalypse. Trigger. So he has one more card. Is this a removal? He needs exactly Go for the Throat, right? And he didn't get, but he maximized the chances. I like it. That was a nice game of Magic.